So first of all, I want to say thank you, Hannah, for sitting down with Online Casino today to have a little chat.
It's my absolute pleasure.
Start with, tell us a little bit about life recently, what you've been up to, where you're living currently.
So I'm a mum. I've got my little boy Reggie, who's 2.5. So me and Reggie live together at the minute in Liverpool. Yeah, I've just been busy working. I'm still modelling. I've been busy doing lots of photo shoots, and yeah, just mum life. Cracking on with balancing mum life with a very busy work life as well. So
I was gonna say, difficult balance to strike. Absolutely.
Yeah, I get a lot of help and support from my family, which obviously then allows me to be able to keep up with my work. And yeah, I think next year I'll be looking to move back down to Essex. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, busy really doing a lot of Instagram jobs and a lot of modeling stuff. And yeah, I just like to keep myself as busy as I can.
Can imagine. It's almost been over 7 years since you stepped into the Love Island villa. Would you say that the show has been a huge part of shaping your career and also your personal life to an extent?
Oh my God. Well, first off, I cannot believe it's been that long since the show. When I watch it back, like not watch that one back, but when I watch all the other Love Islands, because I'm completely addicted to watching them, it almost feels as if like it wasn't even real that I was on. It was like a bubble, because it was like a lifetime ago. But yeah, it definitely has, coming out the villa. It's really, even though my series was the first series, so obviously they're a lot bigger now, but it definitely shaped my career, and it gave me a lot of, amazing opportunities, and it allowed me to meet so many cool people. So I am really, thankful to ICV for that. Because obviously if I'd taken a different path, maybe I wouldn't have all these things come to me. So yeah, it was amazing.
I was going to say, do you ever imagine what your life would be like now if you hadn't participated in the show?
Yeah, of course. I mean, before the show, I was a glamour model. I worked for Matchroom Boxing, so I was always boxing and glamour, doing my glamour stuff. But that was a massive move in my career to enable me to do all these jobs. So I think, yeah, sometimes I sit and think, without that, where would I have gone? Because especially when I went into Love Island, Instagram was only just starting to build up. So, that helped me on that platform a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned there how big the show is now. Do you get a lot of girls coming up to you asking for advice on how to get onto Love Island? And how do you usually respond when you're asked that?
Yeah, all the time. Loads of people, even people I know, say to me, I might apply. Here's a bit of an interesting fact for you. So I was the first ever person to ever be interviewed for Love Island.
Wow.
Ever. Yeah. But basically, going off the question a little bit, my manager at the time, he took me in for an interview into ITV, and he said, I really want you to do this new show. And obviously I didn't know anything about it because it hadn't been on before. And I remember going in and I had a meeting with the producers, and they were all lovely and they seemed to like really like me and stuff. And it just kind of like escalated from there. And next thing you know, I was on it without giving it too much thought. So for me, it was a little bit different because it didn't go through that process. But a lot of people ask me, how can I get into it? Because obviously there's so many people that apply. And I know it sounds so cheesy and cliche and all that, but you've just got to be yourself. And obviously put kind of sell the best point about your personality to try and stand out from other people. But you've got to go in there and just be yourself and hope that they love you,
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you feel now? Do you have any regrets having been through the experience of having your love life kind of blast all over the media and television ever since that first appearance on Love Island?
Do you know what? I'm one of these people. I've got no regrets. When I was in there, I was so true to myself. I was just myself the whole way through. So I've got no regrets about the experience. But I suppose one thing I've found that is quite difficult is being in the media now. I'm in a relationship now, and ever since that show, which was like you said, 6-7 years ago now, the media, whenever doing a story about me, will always refer to the relationship that I had in the villa. So even if you're with a new partner and they're writing a story about you and your new partner, no matter what, without fail, they will still mention, but Hannah was with John in Love Island and blah. And I suppose that can just get a bit frustrating after like 7 years, because I'm like, I'm not with him anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And that brings us on nicely to talking a little bit about Frank.
Yeah.
So tell us how you met Frank. Did you know him from Towie, or had he seen you on Love Island? How did that come about?
Right, this is the maddest story, but Frank has been my best friend for 10 years.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so him and his sister Georgia, they've been in my life for 10 years. We've been best friends. I used to live in Essex, so he used to run like club nights and I would help him with that. And we have, when I say best friends, we have literally been like besties. I'm really close with his family and everything like that. And it was just one of them things, I think, where deep down, maybe we always kind of end up together, but it just fits so perfectly because we're that close. We know everything about each other. I've never, and like without being cheesy, I've never had a relationship that kind of works so smoothly.
Yeah, less
I think it
challenge.
was, it was meant to be. So yeah.
Really nice. And you
Thank
mentioned
you.
in the beginning as well that you are a mum to Reggie.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how he's doing. I know that he's turning 6 in about 3 months' time.
Oh no,
How
he's
has life...
turning 3.
Oh, sorry, they've mixed up here. He's turning 3. Is his birthday in 6 months' time? Does that make more sense?
So his birthday's actually on bonfire night, so
Oh,
not
nice.
6 months time. I always just say 2.5. But yeah, he's turning 3 in November. I want to take him to Disneyland for his first time.
Amazing.
But yeah, he's doing really, really well. He's just at that stage where he's talking a lot, he's running around, he's mischievous, but he's just got the best little personality. He's like my absolute best mate. He's amazing.
And how has it been kind of moving from being a single mom to Reggie to now having obviously Frank by your side? Is he turning out to be a good father figure for Reggie?
Do you know what? He absolutely is. Like, he's so good. His sister's got a baby the same age as Reg.
Oh.
So he's really good already with the kids, and Reg absolutely loves him, and he's really, really good around Reg. So yeah, I'm really lucky in that sense that it's all fitted together so perfectly. And yeah, me and Reg want to move in together with them next year to kind of bring everything properly together. So I'm really excited for that.
I was going to ask if you and Frank had any major plans for any changes in the next while, but it sounds like there's definitely some on the cards.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's really hard for me because my life was obviously in Essex for a long time, 6-7 years, and then when I had the baby and I was single and stuff, obviously I had to come back to Liverpool because I needed like the support and help from my family. But now I'm in the relationship with Frank. We split our time between Essex and Liverpool, and a lot of my friends are still in Essex, so I will be making the move back down that way. Yeah, I'm thinking next year. I think it'd be the best time for me and Reg to do that.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
You and Frank recently went on to Italy together as well.
Yeah.
How is traveling for you post Love Island? Do you get recognized when you travel? Do you have like fans of the show who recognize you even when you're abroad?
You know what? It's mad, but yeah, I actually did. I actually had by the way, I love Italy. It's my favorite place ever.
Oh, beautiful.
Unreal. But I actually had Americans on a night out. Italy had loads of Americans, and on a night out, they ran up to me, this group of girls. They're like, "Oh my God." They bought me shots and everything, and they are just watching my series now over in America.
Amazing.
And do you know what? It's mad because obviously my series, not even a lot of people might have watched it back then or whatever, but it's mad that yes, still to this day, even in another country, I do kind of get it. But people they're always so friendly. When people come up to me like this group of girls, they were crazy. And they were so lovely and positive towards me, which, you know, I'm really thankful for.
Yeah, makes the experience so much more positive.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot of pressure as well in terms of being in the public eye in relation to appearance. And you've obviously, I guess, feel that pressure to an extent as well, and recently had a nose job done. Have you been happy with how that turned out, and is kind of traveling abroad for surgery something you'd consider again?
Do you know what? Yeah, I mean, I'm one of these people, before Love Island and everything, I really love like glamorous, like I love big hair and I love all that kind of thing. So that's really me anyway. But yeah, it was my first time I went to Comfort Zone and I went to Turkey. It was my first time to go somewhere like that for surgery. And I mean, to be honest, I can't fault it. It was amazing. The service, the hospital, the cleanliness, it was really, really good. I know there's a lot of pressure on girls these days with surgery and stuff, but I just think it's up to, you know, the individual person and what they want to do to feel confident. I mean, I don't think that anyone should feel kind of pressured into doing it, but like I said, that's always kind of been for me the look that I love. I love this old Playboy kind of style. But yeah, my surgery was great. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, I got it done in January. My nose still has swelling. They say it can take up to a year to go down, but so far I am really happy with the result. And the reason I actually got a nose job was because when I was born, my nose really, really leaned to the side. So I did have to get it broken.
Oh, wow.
And it's still a tiny bit. So I don't know if I'm going to have to get a little bit more. I'm not sure.
Okay. And tell me a bit about how having a baby and becoming a mum impacted your modeling career. Would you say that motherhood kind of impacted it, got in the way a little bit, or have you been able to just kind of carry on like a champ and keep your career going at the same time?
Do you know what? Really, luckily for me, and I think because of the Love Island thing, and people get quite invested into, you know, your personal life, your personality and stuff. I have been able to keep working, you know, even when I was pregnant, I was doing a lot of like mummy things, and yeah, it hasn't got in the way at all. Because I've always been able to kind of, like said, with the pregnancy, I still work sharing my experiences and stuff and what I was finding helpful and all that kind of thing. And then, you know, ever since I've had the baby, I went straight back to, you know, getting fit and stuff like that. And like I said, I get a lot of help to kind of enable me to still be working and still be there at the same time. So yeah, I think it's only had, you know, positive effects for me in regards to work, and I am lucky with that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And your career's been really interesting. I mean, even pre-Love Island, starting out with Playboy, you're really big on Instagram, on you host a podcast now. You even have your own NFTs now. So where do you want your career to take you in the future? Do you want to stay in modeling, or do you have lots of different ideas about where you'd like it to go?
You know what? Thank you, by the way. I've had some mad times in my life. I've always kind of worked hard for what I want and what I want to do. But yeah, I mean, I think I'd like to model for a few more years, but it's not something that obviously I'm not gonna do it forever. I'm not gonna do OnlyFans forever, you know. But I'm not really sure right now where I'm gonna go. I just kind of wait for things to like come at me and I'll decide. But it's, I think for a couple more years I will model, and then yeah, hopefully onto a different path from there. But I'm just not sure what at the minute.
And do you like kind of the freedom of being kind of like an individual creator with your modeling career, or have you ever given any thought to kind of signing up with an agency as opposed to controlling it yourself?
Do you know what? Yeah, so years ago when I was just a glamour girl, obviously I had an agency then, and I did lad mags like Zoo and Nuts and all that kind of thing. And at that time it was more shooting for magazines and how they wanted to run it and stuff. Whereas now we get to kind of take control and we create the content ourselves. We have full control over the content. Now, I do think in a way that is better, you know, even though I think back then it was amazing to have these magazines like in your hands. I think it's really good for all creators out there at the minute to be able to own the content and take control of it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
I'm on that. I'm definitely for that.
And you've obviously still been managing to blow up the internet with things that you're doing. I know recently you did a shoot with Katie Price, which people
Yeah.
went crazy for. What next do you have in store? Can we expect to see you shooting with any other big names in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always open to collab with big names, especially I use them across my platforms for OnlyFans to push traffic and stuff. I've got you coming up with Katie, so watch out for that. And we work really well together. And yeah, I mean, I'm always open for collabs and stuff, and I love creating fun shoots. So yeah, kind of just watch this space, and I'll be pushing all that content through all my platforms.
Nice. Getting back to Love Island a little bit, I know we touched on your experience in the beginning. Did you watch the current series of Love Island in full? I know you've mentioned that Davide and Ekin-Su were your favourite couple, so I'm guessing that you were very happy to see them take such a big victory.
Oh my God, yes. I absolutely loved this season. I was addicted. The whole time, Ekin-Su and Davide were my winners, but I think like a lot of the nation, I was just obsessed with them. They're just, you know, I can't wait. They've got their own show now coming out. They've confirmed. I'll be definitely watching that. They were amazing, really entertaining. But this series, it was really standout for me. It was one of the best ones, I'd say. I loved
And
it.
I was going to ask how you felt about that in terms of the opportunities that have come Davide and Ekin-Su's way after the show. So obviously, as you mentioned there, they got 63% of the public vote, which is the second most in the history of the show. And off the back of that, they've been offered their own reality show where they'll travel to Turkey and Italy and meet friends and family. Do you think that's kind of fair, or do you feel like it's ITV sort of picking their favorites and offering them particular opportunities?
Do you know what? I don't think that it's unfair at all. I mean, God, we all love them and we want to see more of them. I just think what it is I think over the years the show has become bigger and bigger and bigger. My show, I feel, you know, a lot of people from my show might complain and say, oh, you know, obviously we didn't get as big of opportunities, but we were kind of like the guinea pig for the show to take off, and every year it's just become bigger. So I don't think it's them picking the favourites. I think the show has just naturally grown so much that why wouldn't they get their own show, you know?
Yeah,
So
I totally see that. Do you have any thoughts as well on the after show support that you received from ITV? I know you mentioned there, obviously the scale of the show was very different when it started out versus what it is now. Did you feel you got a level of support from ITV after the show, or were you kind of left in the dark once the experience had finished?
Do you know what? Actually, you know, for me, I've stayed quite close to a lot of the producers and the people who worked on the show. I actually did the Love Island After Sun for this series with Laura Whitmore and stuff. Yeah, I've always found that they've kept in touch with me. They've checked in with me. They've always been lovely to me. But I know obviously a lot of things have happened, really sad and stuff from Love Island, and people blame the channel. But I just think there's only so much that the channel can actually do in that sense. Obviously, you are going on this show. You are going to be let out into this mad, crazy new world. But yeah, I feel there's only so much support they can give, and you know, I do think they were as good as they could be. You know, like I say, they'll check in on me every now and again. I'm friends with some of them, but then I know a lot of other people say they haven't felt supported. I suppose it's just being let out into this mad world that you might not be ready for. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe like particular personalities are like better suited to navigating that than
Yeah,
others
and you
as
know
well.
what? It is like, even like we keep saying about my show not being the way it is now. Even my show, when I come out, it was crazy. Like even going shopping, or it was mad, and that was then. So imagine now, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we talked there about kind of ITV potentially playing favorites and taking advantage. There's loads of other industries and organizations that do similar. If we think about a gambling site, for example, they'll be taking bets on which couple they think is most likely to win
Of
and who's the
course.
most popular.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's kind of an acceptable thing to happen, to have the public betting on like the personal lives of the contestants on the show?
I mean, for me, I just think it's like, it's just all part of it. But other people might say different, you know, might say it's like damaging to people's mental health and stuff. But for me, I'm just someone that can kind of go, oh, it's all part of the fun and whatever, you know.
Yeah, not
Things
take it
like
too
that for
seriously.
me. Yeah, I think it's just part of it. But other people might moan about it.
Tell us a little bit about how you feel about gambling in general. Would we ever be likely to see you hitting up a casino, spending some time there?
Hell yeah. Like, I mean, I've never been to Vegas, and I really want to go in the casino. I can't, obviously I know gambling can be like mad, you know, if you take it too far, not good. But I think in moderation, and I'd like to go to Vegas. I mean, I need someone to teach me how to play like roulette, all these different things, because I have no clue. But 100%, I really want to do the whole putting, like I said, I'm from Liverpool, I'm Scouse. I really like the glamour, so I want to put the big dress on, the earrings, and I want to stand in the casino, and I want to do it all and have a go. Why not?
Amazing. I imagine fans of your Instagram would absolutely love seeing that. So I feel like you should plan that in, get that on the
I
cards.
need to.
Yeah, absolutely. To finish off, Hannah, anything else that you'd like to share with us before we finish? Does the rest of the year hold any very exciting plans for you?
Very exciting plans for me. I can't really share. Obviously, big shoots and stuff coming up, loads of content, and you might see me back on TV soon, but I can't really share what. So yeah, bits of exciting things, but just I'll keep you posted.
Amazing.
Keep an eye out.
I was going to say, we'll have to keep an eye on those social media channels. Thank you so much, Hannah, for sitting down with Online Casinos. It's been great to chat. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Hannah. It's been lovely. Thanks so much for having me.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
And you. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.